Live from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios and the Gurkha Cigar Studios in the great state of New Hampshire, welcome to the Smokin Tabacco Show with your hosts, Matt Tobacco and Pat Chamberlain.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTobacco.com, and I'm joined once again by my good friend, Mr. Patrick Chamberlain, attorney at law. And it's another Wednesday night. It's starting to get warm up here in New Hampshire, so things are starting to feel good. You know, the seasonal depression is starting to melt away. And I like that. I'm excited for it. Pat, how did it feel to not have to freeze to death this morning? I mean, it was a little cold this morning, but it wasn't like it was a month ago.
Definitely better than freezing.
Yeah, it was
better.
It was cheery. Every morning I ask Alexa, "Oh, what's the weather like today?" And she's like, because ours is set to British. All of them are. We have like 5 of them. They're all set to the British woman. I think Nicole does it I think because she misses the old country. It's like today it's going to be a high of 57 degrees and a low of 32 degrees. You can expect clear skies with partly cloudy in the afternoon. And I was like, wow, it's a pretty good day. And then I was like, Alexa, what's the weather like for the rest of the week? And it was like fucking 55. Then it's going to be like 47, but then it's going to go back up to like 62. And I was like, oh shit, okay. That's going to be a nice week again. So, and we're already past the halfway point of March. Next thing you know, it's April. And then, it starts to get better. So I'm excited. The weather's good. It makes me feel good, It's New England, so it's also a roll of the dice. It could change. There could be a snowstorm next weekend. I don't know, but whatever. Right now, it's good. We needed a break.
Yeah.
It was sucky. It was like starting to feel the cold in my bones. Anyway, I've delayed long enough. We have a guest with us tonight. Somebody that I really enjoy having on the show. He's one of my faves. He's one of my fave people. Comes from a band called United Cigars. They have a lot of cool things. And he's going to tell us about them. But we're also going to talk about some other things, too, because this guy, what can I say? I mean, he's a man of many strengths. He knows about a lot of different things. Why limit it to just some cigars, I think that it doesn't do him justice. Well, let's bring him on. It's our man, the myth, the legend, almost birthday boy. I just found that out. His birthday's this weekend, I think he said. It's Oliver Nivaud from United Cigars.
What's up, boys?
You said it was Saturday's your birthday?
Saturday. Yeah.
Good old 52.
And I will be spending it doing a Gold Star launch at Tobacco Junction.
Ooh.
And then they have their Texas Cigar Fest right after. So we're doing the launch from 9 to 11, and then the Cigar Fest starts at 11. But we decided to do it early because this is their 3rd year, I think, the Texas Cigar Fest, and there were people lining up, and they were coming in. Their stores are open. They have a drive-through spot for cigarettes, and we have our United Human bags at the window counter, sometimes, and people can just pick it up. So we decided to do to support the early birds, do a little Gold Star and mimosas.
That sounds delightful. I mean,
I'll be drinking tequila.
Mimosa, well, so a screwdriver, right? Or a tequila sunrise? No, screwdriver's vodka. What's with tequila? Tequila sunrise?
Oaxaca?
I usually mix it just with the glass. Just pour it right inside.
Oh, so no orange juice.
No, just neat.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a neat drinker too, but every once in a while, a little juice is nice just to get you started. It's refreshing, and then you just go into it. But that's cool. I respect that. A lot of people don't know how to sip tequila. You know who does? Kurt Kendall.
No.
This guy.
You do too. No, I know you do too. But I remember I was at Twins one time, and he happened to be up there, and and everyone knows Kurt. He's just he's a man of few words. But I just remember he broke that silence, and he was like, "What are you doing with that tequila?" And I was just like, "Oh, that's good." He's like, "So how you drink it?" I was like, he pulls out the tequila flute, not a champagne flute, and he pulls it out, and he's like swirling it, and he's like, "Who's all you drink tequila?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And then I actually was like, "Wait, this isn't funny. Like, I actually want you to tell me more." And then ever since then, it was like I got really into tequila. So yes, yeah, sipping tequila is good. I like tequila. I like the way it tastes. Mixed, neat. We were talking about it before the show. We were talking about tequila, then we started talking about rum, and then we were talking about Captain Morgan and how long it's been. We were trying to figure out how long it's been around. Then we found out it was, what, 1947? Is that what you said?
1944.
1944.
It was when Captain Morgan came out, but the spiced rum was 1984.
Okay. 1984. Now I feel like spice rum. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to rum, I mean, what are people this is a very catchy thing because you get the people who just like to go and get Captain Coke and whatever. Then you get the people like us who, really know about rum. But I was gonna say, like, what is the most popular, I guess, kind of rum? Is spice rum the more predominant one now? Are people drinking dark rums? Are they drinking white rums? I mean,
Most popular in sales?
probably in sales is going to be spiced.
Probably looking at, you're probably looking at, well, I would think Bacardi, just Bacardi white rum.
The Superior?
Probably just the number, As far as sales, I would think one, Bacardi's massive.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are mixers.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Bars buy a shit ton of the Bacardi because they use it as the base rum, and then the spice rum or the dark rum is like the second rum for the flavor. That's true. We can't have, there's a Puerto Rican Havana Club here, but the Cuban Havana Club we don't have, so we can't really use that measurement.
Oh.
Although, Seven Años is good. I have a couple of bottles. I may or may not know someone in Canada. No names mentioned. Mitchell.
Right.
I told him one time, I was like, I'm like, I send you cigars all the time. Because I have to. I'm like, but I never ask for anything in return, but I do need you to do something for me because I can't do it myself. And he's like, what is it? I'm like, I need you to send me some rum. And he was like, he gave me that, like, what can't you buy? And I'm like, no, I need Cuban rum. And he was like, oh, yeah, I don't know. And Mitchell's like, anyone knows Mitchell? He's like, I don't know, I don't know if it'll make it. I'm like, Mitchell, I'll pay for it. If we lose it, we lose it. But I want you to try. And he's like, all right. And he packaged it up, like, really well. And I forgot about it. And then one day I came home and it was a box from Canada. And I was like, oh, shit. I opened it up and they were all in there. And he wrapped them really well. I got to give him credit. He really wrapped them well. But they made it. They made the journey. And I cracked one open and it was good. It was good.
Yeah, they came out with Havana Club. It's not Magnum, I don't think. They came out with one that was really good.
A new one?
Just a few years ago, and it was really good. I enjoyed that one, but I just wasn't a rum guy. We used to go up to we have a couple of us have a buddy, the Knights of the Leaf. We have a buddy up in just over the border in St. Catharines. So we used to do this Rebar-tober, and we used to go over the border, and then I used to visit Tommy Farrell at Nickel City, going up there, and then the weekend go up to Canada. So anyway, long story short, I was not bringing back cigars or rum, but I would bring back just a shite ton of maple syrup.
Wow.
Because the kids were younger, it was less expensive, it was really good. And one time we got stopped, and they were just asking a whole bunch of questions and asked us to pop the trunk. And the border patrol was looking through it, and he just goes, "So you like maple syrup, huh?" I was like, "Well, you guys got it really good up here. My kids love it, so yeah, I got to bring it back."
Yeah, I mean,
that's what
I can't blame you for that. I love maple syrup, and the thing is, I like the real maple syrup too. Like that, like I grew up as a kid, and we had like Aunt Jemima and like log cabin, and at the time I didn't know any better. I was just like, oh, this is maple syrup. This is what my mom gave me, and then like I had like real maple syrup, and I just remember I went back to Aunt Jemima and I was like, or like Mrs. Butterworth's, and I was like, this is disgusting. Like I can't eat this.
It's not maple syrup. I think it says maple syrup flavoring or maple syrup.
It's corn syrup with like some artificial maple flavoring.
It's brutal.
It's thicker.
We grew up during the testing phases. Right? They're like, yeah, let's see if this works.
Yeah.
No, real maple syrup. Even the guys at the International Cigar Society, they came down. We did a Red Anchor firecracker event at Twins, and they brought me down a bottle of, like, the guy's like, oh, this is from my buddy's farm, and it's the best maple syrup. And the bottle was like half the size of this, but he presented it to me. I'm like, wow. And not that I was thinking like, wow, how good can it be? But I was like, wow, that means a lot that you went to your buddy's farm and you brought this down, and it means this much to you, and you brought it to me. I kept that in the fridge and I just did tablespoons. Like one day, tablespoon. The next day or 2 days pass, another tablespoon.
Savored it.
I didn't pour it. I just, because it had this, I don't know, just different than the other ones that I bought in the stores that were still 100%, Canadian grade A, whatever, maple syrup. But this one was just so different. And I was like, no one's using this. It's mine.
I've had a few. So Kurt has one, as you know, that I think is bourbon barrel aged.
Yeah.
And then Buffalo Trace does one that's like a Blanton's maple syrup. They age it in the Blanton's barrels. I had that. It was good. Those, like, I've had a few of those like barrel aged ones, and those are interesting because like that the bourbon gives it that little extra flavor, and it's nice and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are, oh man, some of those are delicious. Just so good. It just makes me want to take down a stack of pancakes. It does. I mean, you know,
like Buddy the Elf.
Yeah. Pouring it in my coffee.
Pour it on everything.
You really like syrup. Or no, I think, no, she was like, you
Like
really
sugar.
like sugar. And then he was like, is there sugar in syrup? He's just like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I love it. It is good, though. It is good. And I like to eat, as you know. So anything food related, if it's good, I'm all over it. But anyway, really quick, let's talk about what we're smoking, and then we'll kind of get back to we'll talk some more about food. We'll talk about maple syrup. We'll talk about a couple other things too. I know you'll probably enjoy. But we are smoking. Or once again, brought to you by the number 2guyscigars.com. Should feel pretty familiar to you. Head over there today for an amazing selection of cigars and accessories featuring the cigars we're smoking tonight, only at the number 2guyscigars.com. And tonight, we are smoking the new Gold Star from United Cigars. Now, Oliver, fill in the blanks for me, but I'll do the quick rundown. Last year at PCA 2024, you guys had the Gold Star limited edition that you guys did. And now this year, this is a regular production release. And if I remember correctly, you had said that the blend was slightly different.
Correct.
Okay.
More, yeah. I wanted this to have a little more body, more strength. I think the retros, very, very interesting. Blended this more as a retro cigar than anything.
Retro. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Retro.
I only smoked a couple of last year's, and it's been a while. It's a little foggy on the mind. If I find more, I'll smoke them side by side. I remember I liked it, but I can't remember why. So far, this one's pretty good. It definitely has more body. I can remember that. I remember that this one's got some more flavor to it. That I know for sure. Some more earth spice. I just started it, so we'll see how the rest of it changes. But so far, it's quite a mouthfeel.
The original release was, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it Habano wrapper, Sumatra binder, and then Connecticut broadleaf, and maybe like Dominican filler,
Ooh,
right?
good mind. Oliver would know. Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
so?
yeah.
What's different about this release?
So different percentages, slightly different, different wrapper, just to kind of keep the same, because I don't know, and it's just like the La Giana 30th, I kind of want to keep within the family of the blend and the brand, but just change it up a little bit. So this was the original blend that we were working on for the Gold Star that you're smoking now. When the limited release was starting to be discussed, and they wanted it out for 2024. That's where, and it was going more. I don't want to say more to the masses, but it had to appeal to a broader audience because it was we had plans to donate boxes back to the Navy SEAL Gold Star families and foundation so they could raise money. So we didn't want it as strong because looking at the portfolio, I wanted something that just had a little more body and strength to it. So just kind of soften the limited edition a little bit, and then this one that's just going to have a little more strength. So
yeah,
you just play with some of the percentages that are in there.
Which again, I feel like is a very standard thing. I mean, there's been some other releases from other brands, size changes or limiteds year to year. They tweak them a little bit. I know, we're talking to, for example, Michael Herklotz. He has the annual releases of the Elegancia and the Generoso, and the idea is that they're all kind of the same. But I know he's tweaked those a little bit year to year, ever so slightly, which is probably the same. Percentages a little bit more here and there. But generally keeping the overall bigger picture of the blend relatively the same.
Is there more broadleaf in the filler on this edition?
There's more broadleaf in the Dominican Ligero.
Because I can taste the broadleaf.
Good catch. Yeah, you got a good palate.
Yeah. I have to know how to bullshit people. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Well, from a retail standpoint, I mean, I guess that's true, but
I'm an honest salesman.
You're also a prosecutor, so I don't know. You know how to tell a story. I'm just throwing it out there. Let's remember that. He knows how to turn it around. But yeah, and as always, once again, riding along with us is our friends from ST Dupont. Shake up the legacy, ST Dupont, featuring, make sure it's nice and clean so it shimmers in the light, the new Monogram collection. This is the line 2 in the all gold finish. Pat has the same lighter in the black finish from the Monogram collection.
Which is pretty sexy because it has like a hidden gold top on it. I like the detail.
Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then he also has the Biggie and the matching cutter, all from the Monogram collection. These are brand new. They just came out. They were showcased. First, I think they were showcased last September at Intertabac in Germany. And then they were on display at TPE last month, or 2 months ago now, I think. And they are now available at ST Dupont retailers. Ask your local retailer for ST Dupont and the Monogram collection. I promise you won't be disappointed. Shake up the legacy, ST Dupont. So, having said all of that, I know we kind of got a little ahead of ourselves there. We already kind of started talking about Gold Star. Obviously, we're smoking it tonight and kind of give us a lowdown. Right. And I know that's kind of right now, that's kind of your thing. But I wanted to ask you, with PCA coming up, I don't know how much you're letting out of the bag, but can you at least tell us if there's more to come? Like, what's PCA looking like this year for you guys with only a few weeks to go?
Yeah, crazy that it's only a few weeks away. But so Nelson Alfonso and Selected Tobacco will be back at this year's PCA. So we have, I want to say 2 separate booths. We're neighbors, right? But we picked the spots last year. So he'll be back. We have a few things coming out on that side. On the United side, we obviously will be showcasing Gold Star, which we'll talk about. But then we have some display Huma bags that we showcased earlier this year. We haven't really fully announced it yet, but we have new countertop displays coming out, so you can retailers will be able to display this on their counters or on some flat surfaces. And the 6-pack bags, great values. You'll get 5 Toros of 1 wrapper. So if you want the United Connecticut, you'll have 5 Connecticut Toros and then the Firecracker Connecticut inside the bag.
Oh, nice.
For about a $40 retail value. So it's a great value for 6 premium cigars, 5 Toros, and then the Firecracker.
Are you only doing that in United, or are you going to do it like Red Anchor or any of the other lines as well, or?
Right now with the bags we have, it's only in United, and then we'll expand from there. But
okay.
Right now it's the Connecticut Sun Grown and the Maduro.
Nice.
in United.
I had a question about fresh packs that I've always like thought of in my head, but I never asked. Like for instance, like Perdomo was successful with it, like the wrappers, and then
Perdomo's, yeah, they got one of the more popular ones, yeah.
what is the? I mean, obviously there's a value in the bags, but I just find it funny because like you'll get one person that comes in every day and buys one of those fresh packs every single day, and then you're like, why don't you just buy a box?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to buy a box. I want to get the pack. But they buy it every single day.
I see the argument you're making. At the
Those,
rate
like-
you're buying them to buy the
No,
box.
they work. Like it's great that United's doing that because like it does so well. I never understood the why.
The
Like,
buyer mentality.
yeah, it's like I get if you're gonna go on a trip for a week and you want a fresh pack. It's awesome. But every single day, just throw the fresh pack out. You don't even care about the fresh pack.
Because in their
You just-
mind, I think in their mind, they're not buying so much because they're buying, $40 at a whack versus spending like what, $200, just under.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think
Some people don't. Yeah, if they don't have the space for a humidor, they don't have a humidor themselves. That could be a good upsell for the.
It's true.
On the retail side, but yeah, some people just don't want to deal with the maintenance of the humidor. They have the pack, they bring that to work, they put it in their car, whatever. I mean, they should just buy a small case of humidor at the house. But yeah, there are a lot of customers, that we've seen that just end up picking up the packs because it's easy, it's a convenience.
yeah, I mean, and those packs last like once you
a while.
once you open the bag, I think
Are they
start letting it
the-
out. But I mean, if you you're not open it all the time, I mean, it'll last a while.
Are you guys using like a Bovida pack, or is it like the one that has like the built-in
The gel liner.
the gel liner?
Yeah.
Yeah, the gel liners
Yeah,
last like
Yeah.
I've had one that lasted probably like 8 months. I never opened it, but it just
I found one
That's
from
the thing. Like I
1960.
was just saying, like if you don't open it, like it'll last a while.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those are
Yeah,
nice.
last for a long time.
And who makes? Does Bovida make those bags? Who makes
Oh.
those?
No. We picked up. There's a company I think out of Arizona that we picked ours up. So there, different companies. People use different. I can't speak on it, but
No, I just
different
I'm just like thinking about it now. I'm just like, yeah, I mean, like those. And I remember a few years ago when they first really started getting popular, and it was kind of around the time that like, we talked about this on a Spare Note show, I think, me and Coop, and looking back, like it kind of stuck, but like the tubos are gone. Like nobody makes tubos anymore. Everyone just has a fresh pack, and I think that it's a better value. It's better care for your cigar. I think it's got to be cheaper to make because you're talking about plastic bags with gel
Right.
versus metal tubes. Metal tubes
and
are
we're talking about the cosmetic tubes that Nelson uses for Atabey and Alfonso that are very expensive and beautiful, but the packaging they're not expensive when you look at the 3-pack, but the packaging on tubes can get pricey, and he's not using your typical tube. Like I said, it's a cosmetic tube.
yeah, and you're right, they are beautiful. But you also have to wonder, like, as a manufacturer, like, what are the dollars and cents on getting that and all of this, and it does add up. So I think most I mean, the difference, and to kind of get to your defense a little bit, when it comes to those brands, I mean, those are really ultra premium brands that have a really like the packaging is almost just as important as the way it tastes and burns. It's the entire package. That's kind of but for the average manufacturer, I think that a lot of them took a look at that and were like, yeah, I mean, we could probably save some money and provide
See, I'll disagree with that because I think the more successful brands have a core line that's in a tubo for that single buying convenience of people that are buying it and then bringing it somewhere with them. Like Fuente does it. Ashton has the not double Magnum.
oh yeah,
I forget what it is, but it's the white tubo.
Rocky's got tubos.
Rocky's
still.
got tubos.
Well, Fuente doesn't have that many tubos left.
It's just core line. Like it's the.
Well, Fuente
the
only
King
makes it in
Teas.
the Kings.
The Kings, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the Grand Reserve blonde.
Yeah.
Ashton has the classic white.
Yeah. But even still, even just with those three,
Alvo has their
Alvo makes
classic
them.
in a tube.
But outside of that, there was a lot more companies that were making them.
Yeah.
like even Drew Estate stopped really making a lot of it. I think they may still.
They discontinued the
Liga
Undercrown
ones.
Maduro,
The
tubos.
Undercrowns,
and
the Ligas and the Undercrowns.
Actually.
The only one I think maybe they might still make, because it's so popular and because of how it's usually purchased, they might still make it for Cuba Cuba in the acid line. But I know like Liga Undercrown, they don't make it anymore. I remember that story a couple years ago. They were discontinuing the tubos.
Yeah, I think one
stopped.
core line tubo is not bad, just because some people are going to
Sure.
go to the beach or whatever, and they're going to. It's just nice to have like something solid.
Sure,
to
but
keep
I
the
think
cigar.
that there was a lot more, and as an industry, like
Could've been,
and
yeah.
a lot of them have cut down. You've seen a lot more. Like I feel like every time I turn around, someone's got a fresh pack. Ashton's got fresh packs. Fratello's got fresh packs. Perdomo's had the fresh packs forever. Gurkha came out with a fresh pack last year.
Grab and go market. They want to be able to come in, get what they love, and move on, get on the road.
Oh, and I think it's great. And I agree, especially like think about one of the big ones that a lot of people talked about at the time was the golfers. You know, you're going to the golf course. So your buddies say, "Let me go grab a pack, and then I get cigars for everybody."
Especially
maybe grab
like-
2 packs, and everybody gets 2. I don't know.
Especially like United being distribution too, like you can get into more
Yeah.
shops, because I mean,
Yeah.
you say you want to go into a gas station, it could be good business, but I mean, is that guy going to take care of the humidor, and are people going to get your cigars and they're going to be fresh the way they're supposed to, humidified? Who knows? But if it's in a fresh pack, you have some assurance that it's going to be
A little less risk
yeah.
on the quality for the customer, right? Yeah, because even if the store doesn't take care of it, at least the pack's kind of
Packs there, yeah. And
Yeah.
then the store, some stores might not even want to deal with a humidor, so it just
We've been in some of those places that you're describing, and yeah, sometimes there's just a glass box on the countertop, and I'm like, that ain't keeping humidity in there. What is that?
Nobody's maintaining that thing.
Yeah, it's like they go in there. You want a cigar? Like, yeah. Can I get one of those? Which one? The brown one?
Yeah,
Like,
if they
yeah.
are just using the water from the back sink.
yeah, no, yeah.
It's not my thing.
Listen, I don't judge anybody, but I get my cigars either sometimes direct or from a premium cigar retailer. So, because at least I know they're cared for. You know what I mean? It's they could, you got to take care of cigars. They need to be loved. Or it's just you ruin the experience. Right before the show, we were talking about tequila and rum. Then we started talking about maple syrup. Last week, that's kind of how I advertised you this week. Because last week we had the king of the tramp stamps. We had Jack Heyer on the show, which that speaks for itself. We had a great time. This week we have the king of street tacos. Because let's not forget, Oliver's also the king of tacos. I mean, when it comes to tacos, he's my guy. So, what I did want to ask you this week, to get back to food really quickly, because I like to shake it up. Any new favorite tacos since we last spoke? Have you found any more gems out on the road?
Like new favorite locations.
Yes. Anything noteworthy?
There's what's the name of the place? Donna. It's I think I might even have it on my phone. Donna Bella. I have Don Fulano in my head, which is a tequila, and I that's not Donna. No. It's close to Hudson. So the gun range, like we talked about the Granite State.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we
indoor
both go
gun
there.
range
Yep.
And the United corporate office are in Hudson. And there's a taco spot. I'll look it up. Anyway, to find it, so that I can share it with you, because they have really good tacos, and I really like their tamales.
Really?
It's hard to come across.
And that's close to my house, too, so that could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Because I'm only like 10 minutes away from that area. So it's near over there? It's in Hudson?
Yeah, it's close to.
You don't have to give me the address now. It's okay. You can always give me it later. But that's good to know. That's good to
I'm
know.
just typing in. What the? Yeah, I'll find it. But really good tacos. That's my new spot. There's a new spot that opened up in Manchester that was really close to the house called. It's the number 3, and I can't remember if it was like hombres or
Like Trace Hombres?
yeah. I was so disappointed.
What's the
Even
name of that
even
food
tonight,
truck?
even tonight, I got I just got a taco. Well, not taco salad. I ordered from this taco place, but I just got a salad. But they had a tortilla soup. I got the tortilla soup, and it was like minestrone with tortilla chips on top, tortilla strips.
What?
That was bullshit. Yeah, it was bullshit.
That is bullshit.
Yeah, I wanted something good, but not the case. But I'll find it. Yeah, I'd say those, and then you know who has a really good taco scene that I was not familiar with at all is Denver. There are
Really?
a lot of taco trucks out there. So I stopped at I think was it Tacos Tijuana? That was really really good. So yeah, and they were all over the place.
The Dojo guys must have the lowdown on tacos. They seem like they're into tacos. They seem like taco people. They must have the lowdown.
Yeah, they told me about one spot, and it was more for the green hatch chili. Like they're freaks for the green hatch chilies out there.
Really?
Yeah, it's them. I think it's Colorado and New Mexico, and Texas kind of takes ownership of that too. They're like, we love them, but
You know what I wanted to ask you? Not really specifically on tacos, but I know that you also frequent Las Vegas. And the amount of times I've been out there recently, and I keep like either forgetting to go or I remember, but then I don't have the time. But Nicole follows a food truck out there that apparently is very popular. And I was curious if you've been to it. Yeah, it's called 303 in the Cut.
no.
They
In
post
Las
some.
Vegas?
It's in Las Vegas, yeah. And they post some insane stuff on their Instagram. If you find them, they're at 30, like the numbers 303 in the Cut. And she found them a few years ago, and like we've been there probably 7 times since then. And like every time we forget, and then we leave, and then it was like, oh, we should have went to that place. She's like, I tell you all the time, and I'm like, fuck. But then like I go on their Instagram and I see the stuff they make, and I'm like, damn. And I'm like, I wonder if you've been there, because I'm like, I feel like food truck Vegas, you would probably have been there, but.
Yeah.
If you haven't, then write it down. So when you're back in town, you gotta go sniff that out and tell me if it's worth it.
The place in it says it's Hudson, but it's La Doña, Taqueria La Doña,
La Doña.
Dona, but La Doña. That one was really good. I'd be all over that one.
All right, I'm definitely gonna go check. I'm definitely gonna go check that out.
Yeah. You know, Vegas. When we go to Vegas, sometimes we're a little restricted. Like I don't rent a car there anymore. You take an Uber right over. Nice, burning well. That's
Look
good.
at that. Good ash. Good construction.
Good. I mean, William Ventura. They're awesome. So and then everybody talks about El Gorditos, which because it's right on the strip, and they're good. They're not great, and there's a big line. But if you just go right next door. There's Tacos El Pastor. There's Tijuana Birria, and they have great tacos.
Yeah, I've been to those. I've been to I think all 3. I think I've been. I'm trying to remember.
In the same night?
Not in the same night. Not in the same night. There was one I went to, and instead of tacos, I was like, I kind of want something different. I ended up getting like quesadilla or something like that. And I remember I brought it back to my hotel room. And because it was late, and I was like, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna like just run back because I was at like a Resorts World, so I wasn't too far. So I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna run back over to the room because it was like 2 in the morning. I was tired, but I wanted to eat. And I got back up there, and I remember eating it. And I was like, they're so plain. There's like nothing in this. And I was disappointed. And I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of those. And I was like, I should have just got the damn tacos.
Yeah. So quesadillas are tricky because of the cheese. As soon as the cheese starts to get cold and harden a little bit, it's still like string. It loses, that.
It barely had any cheese on it though. It was like just meat. It was like wet meat on a tortilla, and I was like,
yeah. Oh, you did like a birria quesadilla.
I think maybe not knowing, I think is my problem. And I was like, what is this? There's nothing on it.
That's what happens. 2 a.m. ordering.
I know.
But hit La Doña. We'll go, we should go to La Doña. We'll go because then you said you're a member at Granite
Yep.
Granite State Indoor too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go get some tacos and then we'll go shoot some guns.
Cigars, guns, and tacos. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great time. That'd be a great time. And it's close by too, so it's like I don't have an
Patrick,
excuse.
you shoot?
What's that?
Is it Patrick a shooter?
I can be.
He can be.
Gun guy?
I can hang.
He can hang.
Yeah. So we can go. We can. We'll do it a Gold Star day. Shoot some guns. Grab some tacos. Have a cigar. It's not bad. Throw some tequila in there.
Mm.
I think
Yeah.
it's damn fine.
You know what a good tequila
Go ahead.
is that I can convince Kurt to put out is the what is it? Oh my god! Now I had it and now I'm just blanking. Like King of Kentucky Herradura.
I don't think I've had that. King of Kentucky?
King of Kentucky.
I haven't had that. Is that aged in
Bourbon barrels? Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's like it's a limited release. It's hard to get.
Is it like a reposado or?
Yes.
Okay.
If it's aged, it's got to be at least a reposado.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah, I gotta. You know what? Wait a minute. How does he have barrel picks of that?
Herradura.
That specific one?
King of Kentucky.
Yeah.
No, that's like their.
Because I know he's got Herradura barrels he's picked. Because I've tried
he,
some.
He has just a Herradura Reposado, but King of Kentucky's like their birthday cake bourbon of tequila. Like it's
like their
comes out-
pappy.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'd like to try that.
it's probably honestly it's probably my favorite tequila. I'd say it's at least in the top 3.
That's the thing
but it's
about
not the
Kurt. He's got
favorite.
all these like hidden gems, like all
Yeah.
the time. And I'm just like, this guy. Like he's got like the coolest stuff. Like every time, like if I go in there and he's there, like something comes out. Like there was one time I was there, and we were just kind of all sitting around upstairs, and then he disappeared, and he came back like 5-10 minutes later, and he had these 3 like line 2s that were like a few years old, and they were like limited, and they had like lapis stones like on them, and I was like, what is this? He's like, oh yeah, I found these in my office recently. Like, I don't know, like I'd probably sell them. I don't know. And I remember I asked someone from Dupont. They're like, that lighter was like $3,000, and I was like, what? Yeah, he's got crazy stuff. He's got all the time, so it doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a tequila fan, so he's you want somebody with knowledge of tequila.
Oh yeah.
It might be the go-to.
Well, he goes down to Mexico a lot, right?
Yeah, he does his
visit-
barrel picks down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, he really knows it. That's really cool. Does he go down to Kentucky and do a lot of stuff with them, like for bourbon, or does he more so do it with tequila now?
He does it always with the tequila, but if he does like a special bottle, like the Willet Reserve that he got, he went to the Willet distillery and actually like sampled the barrels to pick the bottle. So things like that he'll go, but
Purple top.
Yep.
Yeah.
but stuff like Woodford, like whoever's representing it will bring samples of the different barrels and he'll do it in the shop.
Oh, okay.
But the tequila he always goes down and picks.
That's interesting. What a process too, man. That's gotta be cool.
What a good trip.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I know, right? I mean, you go down there, you pick a tequila. You're in Mexico, so like eating Mexican, like real Mexican food all day, and it's probably nice, especially if he goes in the wintertime. Man, what a great time! I'm jelly. Anyway, let's.
You got GB on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he gave you a shout out. King of Kentucky was the Jim Rutledge whiskey right after he left MGP. Very expensive, so second use sounds pretty fine.
He's the encyclopedia. We should switch his name to George Britannica. It's great. It's amazing. Like sitting down with him, he's gonna have information. Like even if you share something, like I shared, pre-game we were talking about the Corazon tequila, and I was like, yeah, but you know what? I think it was Arcella, and that was Vegas, but then so I can share a little bit of information, but then GB will go like a half hour longer on like all the tidbits, years, and everything. He's got so much info on everything, especially if you sit down with cigars with him. He's great.
I
I've
have
known him for so long.
I haven't had the opportunity to sit down with him yet. Hopefully I do.
Yeah.
George, you hit me up on Facebook. Let's get connected. Let's chat. But I have heard similar feedback from other people who know him. So that it sounds about right. Let's talk about the news really quickly. Our news, once again, brought to you by Micallef Cigars, featuring the new color series, black, blue, red, and now introducing purple, which will debut at the PCA trade show in a couple of weeks. Which it's about that time. Looking at the website, we're starting to get not the usual amount, but a fair amount of PCA announcements. I'll give kind of like the express headlines, so I don't go through them all. So for our news this week, so Pastania is going to have 2 new cigars. They're going to have, if I remember correctly, the War Bear. They're going to have the Grand Perfecto 2025 War Bear, and they're also going to have the SBC 24. Dapper is going to have a 10th anniversary. Warped has announced the Corto Maduro. Micallef is going to introduce the Micallef Purple. La Aurora announces their Horsiege 2024 LE. And Tatuaje, which I'm told there's going to be several releases, but so far they have communicated with the media that they're having 2 new sizes of the Fausto. Both of them are going to be 60 ring gauge. One of them is going to be what they're calling a T110, although the T110 is not a 60 ring, but this is going to be the FT110, a 4 3/8 by 60, and the other is going to be the FT187, which is a 7 3/8 by 60. That is a beefy cigar, especially in the Fausto blend. That's going to be...
I love Pete, but the fact that he's calling that the T110 infuriates me.
I was confused because
it makes no sense.
Well, because I said the T110's not a... I was like, wait, 60 ring? I was like, that's big. I'm like, T110's not 60. That's like a 52?
It was like a 50, yeah. I think it was like a 4 3/4 and 52. Yeah, it's not that.
Actually, I think I have one right over here.
Yeah, I don't know if he thinks the name's going to sell it. I don't know, but that's...
I had one.
I don't get the rationale there.
Somewhere. I thought I did. Maybe. I don't know. I thought I remember seeing one in one of these humidors. Because it was driving me nuts. I was like, that's not how big that is.
No, it's not.
And then I was like, wait a minute. Am I missing something? I thought I had one. Maybe not. I saw one recently.
Which I was excited when I saw that before I looked at the size, because, I mean, the Fausto is the original T110 blend, and to me, I'm always like, why don't you just make the T110 size in the Fausto? So I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, it's finally happening, but then it's like a 60 gauge. I'm like, what?
Yeah, and then when first it was that, then I saw the 7 3/8 by 60, and I said, that's a big cigar.
Now that's a good call for him, because the market for that, bigger gauge, like the value sticks, you can call it, it's there. So I know, like, he did the Kahonu 20. That was the 2021 maybe. It's
big
like
one?
the Fat Bellicoso.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, and he's got the Grand Kahonu, which is big.
That's what I'm thinking. Oh no,
the Grand Kahonu was different. That was
the 2021 then. Like, when I was talking to Edgar, he said that was one of their top-selling SKUs just because of the size, basically. I'm like, really? So that Fausto is probably going to do well for him, but the T110's questionable in my opinion. But
we're still seeing some good-sized cigars coming out. In recent memory, last couple of years, seems to be a thing. Oliver, have you guys, unless I'm blanking on, you guys don't have anything that's super big, do you?
Not super big, but that's what I was going to say. You kind of thought when that was happening it would be, maybe a trend, but no, it stuck around and it even got bigger. Our Gold Star, we have a 6x60, but that's as big as we go outside of Hightower, that we have a 7x70.
George responded, "Ouch, Britannica hurts." Chuck's watching from Florida. What's up, Chuck?
It doesn't hurt being called George Britannica. What hurts is that he understands the reference. And it also hurts that I'm able to make that reference. Because...
You're going to be 52 on Saturday, I know.
Well, it's 52 on Saturday.
I had to sneak it in there. I had to beat you to the punch.
But that's
Well, my follow-up to that was, have you guys, I'm sure you've talked about it, but how serious have you ever talked about maybe doing something on the bigger size with any of the cigars that, you guys distribute?
I think when you have, and look, I oversee United, and ultimately, it could be, the call from above, and we just do it. But, when you're trying to have a footprint in the industry, and you're trying to, bring something to market, I think you have to stay within what you believe and what you're comfortable with, or you build something and you're just chasing dollars. And I think when you start chasing dollars, then that's where it'll become a problem. So I say that because I'm just not a big ring gauge cigar lover. There's a market for it. It does great. Anything past a 6x60, and even really 54 ring gauge is what I would typically go for. But I know there's a market for 6x60, and if we can do a blend in a 6x60 that I liked, then we did it. Hightower was one that we distribute from Jose Dominguez at the Mahia Cubana factory. So that just kind of rolled in. But I think when you're trying to establish yourself, it's either you love them or you don't. And for me, that's something that's just too big of a ring gauge.
I forgot about the Hightower. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, $8 for a big ring gauge.
That's, when you think about it, that's a good deal. $8 for all that tobacco.
Yeah. We have 6x60, a 6x62 torpedo, and a 7x70.
George said, "Don't contribute to the cigar obesity epidemic, please."
Yeah. See, yeah, he's old school. He understands. Yeah.
Smaller ring gauges.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6x60 has been kind of the comfortable zone.
Figure where you want to be, and there are companies that do it very well, and that's where that's where they went down. And it works for them. And like I said, if you want to chase, that market, then that's what you go after. And some have gone the opposite direction, right? They're only doing. Look at the Bandolero line, like with Nelson. You have the Series A, Series C, and Series T. That Series A, there's nothing above a 54, and that 54 is like, 4 inches long. But everything else is just a thin ring gauge.
Yeah, I mean, personally, the last 2 years or so, I've been enjoying more, not necessarily shorter cigars, but definitely skinnier ring gauges. I've been enjoying a lot more Lonsdales, Coronas, Petite Coronas, in not every blend, but in many blends. Just me personally, I went through a phase a few years ago where I was smoking a lot of bigger ring, a lot of 60s, a lot of 56s, which is not huge, but it's bigger than the average, but 60s, And then I started seeing like fat Churchills, like the 7-inch, but like 50, 7x50, 7x52, 7x54. And I'm like, that's interesting because it's, it's longer, but it's also, I'm like, that's just a lot of cigar. And there was a time when I was like, oh, like this is great. Like when I first started smoking cigars, and I was in Trevor Merrill, who can definitely attest to this. In my very early smoking days, he was the one who was like, oh, you're a power smoker. And I would smoke a lot of bigger cigars, and I'd smoke them fast. And I don't know if it was just because I was just newer and I just was just so excited. I don't know. But then it was like I kind of got to a point where I was like, what am I doing? And I just I started smoking smaller cigars slower. And I kind of got away from like trying to burn down big cigars all the time, which, for me was, I think it was just because I just kind of got sick of it. And I realized like I'd rather take the time to enjoy something and not just smoke the biggest cigar and, just try to get through it.
Yeah, but look, related back to food, like we were talking about earlier. If you go to a buffet, you can have some beautiful, great buffets, right? Bellagio, from what I remember back in the day, they had an incredible buffet, right?
I love that buffet.
You love that buffet, right?
I did. I loved that one. The Bellagio specifically. Yeah. That was a
because
good one.
it had everything,
They
right?
did.
So, but I'm just saying that because, like, so you could eat a lot, but you could get some great food, but you're getting a little bit of everything. So I don't know. Big ring gauge is just kind of that. You're getting a lot of tobacco. It's a big ring gauge. You're gonna be smoking there forever. Even the bigger 54, 56. But sometimes you just want a more refined meal. Like you want to sit at the sushi bar and you just want to see the chef prepare each little roll and set it onto your plate, and that's all you want to have, because there's just a more depth of flavor and a deeper appreciation for it. So those smaller ring gauge cigars, you have I don't know, a little more concentration on it, a little more appreciation for what you're smoking. It feels better. You get more the wrapper and more the tobaccos, I think, than the bigger ring gauge.
Yeah, and it's funny to watch like the industry. I'm sorry, I'm also trying to read George's comments here. He had 6x60 has been normalized as a size, but only a few blenders understand how to make them. I think that's a good point. The same goes with like other like Lanceros, for example. Coop has this, and even Dave. I know people have said Dave hates Lanceros, but I think I've heard more about Coop, and Coop's clarified that statement where he's like, I love Lanceros. My problem is that I find that most people don't know how to blend them, because they just he goes, when I find a good Lancero, it's like, like I love it. He's like, I gave a Lancero Cigar of the Year. And I think the same, equally can be said about, a skinny ring gauge versus a really thick ring gauge, kind of knowing how to blend that and balance it all out, especially in a Lancero. Yeah, and that's especially in a Lancero, because you have less room for error because it's so thin. But then you go to the other end of the spectrum when you got the 6x60. I feel like you can quickly overdo it because it's so thick, and you gotta fill that with all this tobacco, and it's like maybe go too much, maybe you get too much of one and not the other. You kind of you could overcompensate easily. So I kind of get that side of it too.
You said put the United Lancero, right? Which isn't, it's an event, kind of like an event only.
Yes. Yes, you gave it to me recently.
Yeah.
I think you gave me a yeah.
So that one was kind of it's fuller bodied. I wanted something that just didn't represent the portfolio at all. In a way, like when somebody smokes it, I want them to feel like it's something special because it's not available. I want them to see the quality of the construction, because the Lanceros that I've smoked, and now that I'm saying this out loud, the Lancero you have is going to explode, right?
It had a pigtail on it, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, you gave one to me.
Yeah. So I can appreciate a Lancero. I love a Lancero when it's you're absolutely right. When it's blended, I searched for some for a long time. There were some that were good, some that were just a miss. And then when the conversation happened, I was driving through Texas at the time, which I'm in now, years ago, and I remember calling Nelson, and I was still new with United, maybe even 2 years in, and I had asked him. I called him. I said, have you ever thought about making a Lancero for Atabey? He's like, I have it. It's made. I just didn't think it would be the U.S. market, blah, 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 right? So then he sent me a couple bundles. I smoked it. I absolutely fell in love with it.
And we keep a box in the house at all times, because I love it. Nicole loves it. So
it doesn't taste like the portfolio.
Yeah, it's different.
Right, it's different. Yeah, there's more.
I gave him one a few months ago. He had never had any Atabey, I don't think, right? You had no Atabey at the time, right?
I've had a couple, but it wasn't like.
But then I gave you the Lancero, and you were like, "We need to get this." Which, this is your guy right here. You got to tell him. I mean, that's the guy to tell right there. You're like, we need this at Twins.
They ordered them after that. I told them to get them.
See, yeah. So I there you go. I made a sale for you. I turned someone on to the Atabey Lancero, and I said, go call Oliver.
Oh look, Chuck. Yeah, Chuck's talking about the 724 Lancero.
Another one.
I got some high ratings.
That is one of that's for me. It's one of my favorites. I would say favorite Lanceros. Kurtz, Atabey, the Fuente ones. I mean, they know how to make them. Those are good. Pete does good Lanceros. like the El Triunfador. That's a good Lancero. There's a lot that come to mind, but then I think about them and I'm like, in the Lancero specifically, compared to the other blends, I was like, and I don't want to say, the one you gave me at TPE, I have not smoked yet. That's the one I just remembered. I have it. I have not smoked that one yet, but I have it because I remember you gave it to me. Because I remember saying, "Wait, there's a Lancero," and you were like, "You didn't know about that?" And I was like, "No," and then you gave me some, and I think I have it. I think I have it over here somewhere. I'm gonna find it, but yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, Lancero. That's another, and it's funny because I see George also mentioned too. Oliver made a beautiful red anchor Lancero last year.
Oh, the Gunner.
I don't think I had that one.
It's more of a Lonsdale. It's a 43, 6.5 by 43.
Well, is that event only?
No, the Cooper is event only because we, looking at packaging and the size, it's a 4.5 by 43. It didn't make as much sense, but people have been asking for it, so we've left it open, like, maybe that's something in the future, but. What's available to market is the Gunner at 6.5 by 43. That one's awesome.
Trying to think if I've had that one. I don't think I have. Ah ha 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 ha. There it is. I knew I had it. There it is. You know why? Because this is the travel humidor I took to Vegas for TPE, and everything's in here fresh. They got 12 packs, and I haven't really touched it since then because I came home and I put it down and I forgot about it. So everything that I brought out there is still with me. So yeah, it's right here. So there it is. Boom. I'm gonna smoke that. I'm gonna put it on top so I remember.
That's work to do.
I did. What I do because some of the samples and stuff from the show are separate. This is more of like personal stuff, but this made its way in here probably because it's unofficially a sample. So. That's why it's in there. But I knew I had it somewhere. So there it is. So it's right there. And it's fresh. Don't worry. It's nice and tight in there. But yeah, I'm going to smoke that soon. Because I did forget I had that. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I do want to try that because that's good. And that's event only, you said, right?
The Gunner is not. The Gunner is available.
No, the United one.
Oh, the United one, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to have to start following you around.
So when you have samples for event only, sometimes it's a little tester for the market, but you want people to understand, okay, is it quality tobacco, is the construction good, and it's a good sampling of what could be in the portfolio. So that's why like our Cooper is the 4.5 by 43. That's an event only. But if you like that one, you end up loving it at an event. It's available in the Gunner, which is just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Now, and the Red Anchor blend is good.
Yes.
That is a good cigar, and we've definitely enjoyed that. Also, since you're here, because it's just my mind's all over the place, but it just came to me, and I wanted to make sure I brought this up with you on the show because we talked about this. There's another cigar that you came out with last year that made it very high on our list that I feel like didn't get enough love, and not enough people saw it. And I think it's a shame because I thought it was so good, and I remember I smoked it at the show, and from the trade show floor, I texted Trevor back home and I said, I need you to put a box of these aside for me for when I get back. And I got back, and 2 days later I went into the store and I grabbed them. It was the La Giana 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
And I just reorganized the cabinets the other day, and that box is already almost gone. Actually, I think that's the second box, I should say. I think that's the second box. Every time Nicole doesn't get to smoke as much anymore, but when she comes down here, 50% of the time she grabs one of those.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's humbling. I love to hear it, but yeah, it didn't get out to as many shops as we would have liked, and I don't know, maybe we didn't send it to any bloggers to get on the lists, but it's funny because on the show that Coop was on, and it was the Cigar Dojo Flavor Odyssey,
The
And I was
battle,
like,
the
oh,
battle of the lists.
yeah, yeah, and it like made second only by default because Coop had disqualified one that was like a Hawaiian exclusive. I was like, we got second because of disqualification, but I ended up sending some to or at TP I gave a couple to Eric, and to bring back and made sure that he was able to try it, and he enjoyed it. He loved it. So that was positive. That was a little bit of a win.
The other thing too is I think that is in the retail side of it. I mean, you see what people buy, so maybe you have a different opinion. I don't know, but I feel like barber poles in general kind of have, I don't want to say like a stigma or like a bad thing. Like, I feel like they get more hate than they deserve sometimes. Where people are just kind of look at them and go like, eh. And I know that there's been some that have hit the market that have, maybe not been great. But then again, there's also some barber poles that have come out and they're fantastic, such as yours, such as Kurt's Hustler, the barber pole that he has. That's a great barber pole. The La Giana barber pole is great. And again, it comes down to that. Well, I mean, if it's blended correctly, I guess, and you do it right, and you do two good wrappers together that work well. I mean, and it all marries well. I mean, it should be good. And I think I've heard some people talk so much shit about some barber poles, or just barber poles in general. And like I've smoked, yours last year, and I'm like, this cigar is one of the cigars that I remember the most from this trade show.
Yeah.
And you guys are not a sponsor. I don't have to say that. Like, I mean,
No,
it's just
it's
good.
valid. It's valid. You look at, because it deviates from the norm, right? We just in the industry, everything is just one wrapper, so it looks gimmicky to begin with. But if you make a sweeping statement about anything just in general of how they're just not good, then there's no credibility to anything you're talking about. So to dismiss barber poles in general is just a little crazy, because then those same people will be the ones that go gaga over something from, like, say LFD is really good about making little designs with with the tobaccos on the cigar.
Yeah,
that's 100% gimmicky, but there's an art to it. So you're not going to smoke it and that quarter eighth of an inch of tobacco that's laying out whatever design, you're like, I can taste the difference. It's not there. There might be like a hint of it here and there as you get in different parts, but the unfortunate part is, I think then it was used as more gimmicky, which, if we go back to the big ring gauge, it was the same thing when those, and not to put anybody down that did it before, but when those kind of came out, I remember it was kind of gimmicky, right? They would come in their own little coffins, and it was like, oh, look, I'm smoking this big cigar, but it wasn't really necessarily blended to say, hey, this is what we're coming out with, on a regular basis. But Puros Indios had these monster cigars for a while, and I think at first it was just again, I don't want to speak for them or put them down at all, but it was more gimmicky, at least on the retail side where I was. It was, oh, people want a gag gift or something funny here, get them this one. But now manufacturers are blending for those larger ring gauges, and it's working for them, and that's great. But the barber pole was something that I wanted to have a good representation of the La Giana line, but represent both wrappers. And then I also wanted it to be a little bit different. So, that's where it just, elevated in strength and body again, to make it, maybe a good marriage between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to see more. When I think back to that La Giana, and I'm like, I want to see more of that, like, because that's it's only that one size, right?
Right. Yeah. It's the 30th. It's something that we've continued, and we've done again, and it's we have more. Yeah. GB said the same thing. All right. That barber poles were lumped in with gimmick, in the gimmick category.
But I don't think all of them deserve to be there. You're right.
Right. So it's unfair, but if it's different from what the standard is, then people are just going to say that. And again, if it's just a sweeping statement, just like Candelas were very popular before. Then it just started to be, basically green tobacco and it was bad. But there are some good Candelas that have been blended properly.
Yeah, I agree. Aladino, they've done well with their Candela. The Aroas, Justo Aroa, and they.
Aladino's a good one. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they've done a good job with that. Which, didn't you guys do something with their Candela a couple years ago? Was it the Candela? You did something.
Well, we did. So I did the Irish Car Bomb, which we had to change the name. But yeah.
Was that with them?
No, not with Aladino. No.
Oh, okay. No, that was your St. Patrick's Day firecracker, wasn't it?
Right, the All Saints.
Yeah. That's right.
All Saints St. Patrick's Day firecracker. So that was Candela Maduro.
Oh no, you guys did the cigar bar with Aladino. They were the box pressed.
We did the cigar bar.
That's what I was thinking, but that wasn't Candela. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
No, it was their Aladino. That one was great until the cigar police came down and everyone's like, "You're selling to kids." No, not really, but okay.
And then Agnes added in the Stadium Series that you did with Asylum. I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Those were 60 and 6x60 and 7x70. Massive ring gauge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Asylum. I mean, it makes sense.
But that's how much we believed in them. We went all in. We're like, big ring gauge, absolutely.
We're doing it.
Candela, 100%. Let's do it.
Pat, I think it's time once again for our trivia segment of the week. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Pat's gonna run some trivia with you, Oliver. I'll be here too, but you're really the one that's getting graded.
Are you my lifeline?
I'm your lifeline if I can help you. The last week there was a few I was like, you're on your own, buddy. But as always, our trivia segment is brought to you by Perdomo Cigars, featuring the 30th anniversary Sun-Grown Epicure, which is our cigar of the year for 2024. Perdomo Cigars, quality, tradition, and excellence. And they really live up to that name, I have to say. All right, Pat, what do you got?
All right, we're going to do some animals tonight. Animal theme here.
Animal theme.
Animal theme.
Okay, let's see.
All right, question 1. What is the name of a baby goat?
A kid.
Yes.
Ooh.
Question 2.
I never would have got that. A kid, really?
What do you call a flock of crows?
A murder.
Wow.
Damn.
2 for 2. Last week, me and Jack did not do this well.
All right. Up to what speed can a cheetah run?
If you get this, you're a genius, because I couldn't answer. Murder of crows, I would get. But
89 miles an hour.
No.
Faster or slower?
Slower.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't converting. What I meant to say was 47 miles an hour.
No.
No. All right.
Higher than that.
Higher. 63.
A little higher.
Really?
67.
A little higher.
Who'd you say, a cheetah?
Cheetah.
A fully grown cheetah? Is that what you said?
73.
75.
Really?
Wow.
That's fast.
Now I'll do a bonus one.
Yeah. Give me
What is the largest ocean mammal?
The blue whale.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I was going to say the whale, yeah. Well,
Well,
was it specifically the blue whale?
Blue whale.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's blue whale.
I would have just said whale. So, yeah.
And I would have said you're wrong.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's
You got me
blue
there.
whale.
Wow, Oliver's smarter than I
Sperm.
thought. Or those were easy and I'm stupid. I don't know.
He
Last
could
week,
be was stupid.
it's
likely.
I'm trying to remember what the 3 were last week. The first, I know one of them was Star Wars related.
All right, what does the TIE and TIE fighter stand for?
And me and Jack were like, I don't know.
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember what it was either.
either.
I just remember you said it. I was like, who the hell knows that? Like,
don't
other
remember.
than like diehard Star Wars people. Even Jack was like, I'm looking at Jack like, I feel like you would know this, but I'm not calling you a nerd, but I feel like you would know this. And he was like, I got nothing. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Last week it was good. Either they were good or we were just dumb.
Fuck, wait, this week wasn't good? Is that what you're
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, they were hard. At least they seemed hard. I don't know. Maybe we're just stupid. I don't know. Or Oliver's really smart. I don't know. It's one of the two. That's why I like this, because I'm like, I don't know if, like, I'm just really dumb or if they were just really tough questions. I don't know. So.
Let's ask Nicole.
Is she here?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought maybe she was in the comments. I was like, yeah, let's ask her.
I don't even see the comment section. But I feel like you have to get, the woman involved because they have I think it's their frontal lobe. It's just
they know everything, right? Nicole likes to remind me all the time. She knows everything. But no, I feel like Nicole probably would have got at least most of those two. I don't know. I feel like she would. Maybe not all of them, but I feel like most of them she would have. That's just a stab in the dark. But anyway, that was our trivia brought to you by Potomac Cigars. Oliver, as we get closer towards the end of the show here, first of all, I want to say thank you for coming on the show, taking the time. I know you're traveling. So I know trying to do all this and do that, and I know you got things to do. Thank you for getting us into your schedule to join us. It's a pleasure, as always, to have you on the show, as you know. And obviously, anytime you're welcome to come into studio with us or just hang out. Yeah, before we wrap up the show, was there anything else I just want to make sure, was there anything else that we didn't touch on that you wanted to touch on the show? Because I feel like there is, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, I mean, to touch on Gold Star, I mean, right now it is available. It's on the market. We just have a select few retailers, so I pulled them up so I can name them, now for everybody listening. If you're looking for Gold Star, I've already had some people, they're showing me the ash. The construction's been great, so again, knock on wood. But if you go or check out any of these retail partners, Ambassador Cigars in Arizona, Ash and Anvil in Kansas, the Byron Cigar Lounge. I will be at the Byron Cigar Lounge next week on the 27th. Tommy Klein, who's our representative in Kansas, will be at Ash and Anvil this Saturday. Tomorrow night at Franklin Cigars in Tennessee will be another Gold Star launch. Creekside Cigars in Ohio, I'll be doing an event with them not until May, but May 22nd, I believe. Cigar Box in Nevada, where I first met GB back in my late 90s, early 2000 days in the cigar industry. Harrisburg Beer and Cigar in PA also have the Gold Star. We're trying to pin down a final date for an event with them, but that's coming up. They have some. Luxury Cigar Club, that's going on in their packs. Robusto's in Michigan. Tobacco Junction, as I mentioned, this Saturday for my birthday, we will be doing the launch of Gold Star as well. And Two Guys Smoke Shop in New Hampshire, all three locations. So check it out,
Very nice.
Grab some Gold Star, and you deserve it. Right?
When are you going to be setting up shop at Two Guys?
I think that's going to be end of next week. I'll be in Chicago doing the events there, but they'll be doing it the 27th, 28th.
They'll be doing it without you? Oh, man.
They'll be doing it without me. But they're in good hands.
I know. It's not that. It's just,
Right.
I want to see the star of the show. I mean,
Yeah. Hey, the Gold Star.
See what I did there? I know what I'm doing. I've done this a few times.
You guys have been smoking it. I find it, so I'll share, just my notes. I find that it starts out with a delicate spice. It's not, in your face on the palate and the tongue. It's very soft. It starts to get that little salty, sweet ocean air. So you get, some saliva starting on the sides as you start ramping into it. You get more of a medium-bodied, medium plus as you get towards that middle, second, third, final third. And the retrohale on this is just phenomenal for me. I really wanted to, create something that was for the retro smoker, but just to offer something that is balanced, different, just not overpowering. I again, going back to food, when you're looking at a steak. I want to be able to taste the meat. There can be sauces on the side, and every now and again, I can dip in there, but I don't want to take away from what the main dish is. And that's what I was trying to do with this cigar, to not take away from the beautiful tobaccos at the William Ventura factory.
I fully agree with you. Like I like things with like my steaks, right? And you're a big steak guy. I'm a big steak guy. I like the garlic butters. I like the whatevers. I do.
Right.
But put it on the side. Let me dive in there if I want to. Don't just make me do it. You know what I mean? Like people get like,
Yeah.
when you go to like, oh, you want to smother it? I'm like, no, put it on the side and I'll mix it in here and there. But I want to enjoy like the meat for what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Totally agree. I like the way you think, man.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed the Gold Star tonight.
Yeah, no, it was good, and it burned well. It burned well. I mean, at least this one. I mean, you saw. I mean, it burned well. Had good construction to it. Nice draw. I think we have a review on it coming out soon. I have to go and check. I think we have one ready to go soon. Just as a heads up, so it's going to be making its way onto the website. But
it's got like a unique. To me, it's like a lemon pepper spice on the retro.
Oh, I like that little citrus.
Little citrusy.
I could see
meaty texture from that. Again, in the beginning, I said it. Is it more Connecticut broadleaf from the filler? Just very meaty. Has that distinct Connecticut broadleaf aroma. Little salty on the lips.
I could see that. Now that you say it, and it's funny. Someone will always say like, "Oh, like I get this," and then it's like, I don't know if it's just because someone says it or you're just like, "Oh yeah," like then it goes in your like, "Yeah, I can taste that," and it's like. But
yeah, sometimes it's hard to pick out. I sat in a shop today, and they were making a coffee. And he used to be a barista, and now he's in cigars. And he made coffee. He brought it out, set it down, didn't say anything about it. And I took a sip, and then I put it right back down. And I was like, because it was flavored. I was like, that's like a raspberry. I got like a raspberry chocolate, and like distinct. And he said it was actually like infused with strawberries. But the chocolate kind of comes out because of between the two, and maybe because you taste the berry and the roasted beans. But it was good. It was and it wasn't overly sweet. It wasn't flavored, but you could definitely taste the two. So I think when people kind of put it in your head, you're able to then associate it to something at least close to that.
Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes it takes someone pointing something out, but yeah, I mean. And look, there's been 20 times where I've been smoking something and, I'm like, wow, I get this. And then all of a sudden, like, Nicole's like, oh, yeah, there it is. I totally get it. Or vice versa. It's funny. It's funny how it all works. It's like a lot of it's mental, but, like, to a degree. But, like, it's interesting. It's interesting how, like, notes and stuff come out and the way you think of it and it comes to you. It's what makes it all so subjective, too. Like, when you read a review, it's like, you could smoke that cigar and have a completely different experience.
Right.
But it is what it is. I mean, that's how it is. But, guys, that's going to be our show for this week. So thank you for being here with us. Thank you for listening along. Oliver, you're the best. Thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you. Absolutely. Anything for you. You know that. As always, guys, head over to smokingtobacco.com for more news, reviews, and updates from the cigar industry. We'll be back. I think we're back Saturday. I have to check with Coop, make sure he's not traveling again. But I think we're gonna be back with Spare Notes this weekend. I have to touch base. If not, it'll be next weekend. So, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna be back. But like I said, I'm gonna touch base with Coop because last few times I don't know. I feel like he surprised me. I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But anyway, he was at the Great Smoke last weekend, so he can do it. Then he was at Pro Cigar, and it was just like. That man's always traveling, man. He likes to hit the road. So, other than that, we'll be back next week, and then I think is next week Nicholas Perdomo, and then after that, I think is our PCA pregame show, and then I think that's it. I think till the trade show, unless I'm missing a week in between there, but I'll have to double check. But yeah, I mean it's coming up, so I'll see you down in New Orleans if I don't see you up here before then, and we'll have a lot more to cover soon. So all of our coverage from PCA 2025 brought to you by Drew Estate, the rebirth of cigars. It's going to be an exciting 30 days or so from here on out. So don't miss a beat. You know where to find us, and we'll see you.